Think your dog is just being stubborn when they refuse to step into the rain? It is not a behavior problem. It is not a training failure. It is a genetic survival mechanism firing exactly the way it was designed to fire thousands of years ago. Today, we are diving into why certain breeds experience heavy rain not as a minor inconvenience, but as a full biological alarm going off inside their body. Your dog is not being difficult. Their DNA is literally telling them to stop. And once you understand why everything about how you handle rainy day walks is going to change completely, we are going inside the biology of rain refusal. The coat, the ears, the ancestral memory baked into the DNA of specific breeds. And we are finishing with real practical solutions that actually work with your dog's biology instead of fighting against it. Stay until the end because the last section has something most owners have never tried, and it changes rainy days completely. Let's go. Let's start by throwing out everything you thought you knew about this moment. Your dog reaches the front door, you open it, rain is coming down hard. And your dog plants their feet, leans back, and absolutely refuses to move. You pull gently on the leash. Nothing. You encourage with your happiest voice. Nothing. You look at each other for a long, awkward moment, and then one of you gives up. Most owners in that moment think the same thing. My dog is being stubborn. My dog needs better training. My dog is just dramatic. None of those things are true. What is actually happening in that moment is a biological response so deeply wired into certain breeds that no amount of training can fully override it. The second heavy rain hits the air around your dog, something changes inside them. Not emotionally, physically, sensorially. Multiple systems inside that dog's body receive input simultaneously that their genetics have been coded to interpret as a threat signal. The visible thing you see is a dog refusing to walk. The invisible thing happening underneath is a nervous system running a program that is thousands of years old, a program that was written in a time when getting caught in a heavy downpour was not an inconvenience. It was genuinely dangerous. Your dog is not choosing to be difficult. Your dog's DNA is making a choice that their body has no option but to follow. And here is the open loop I want to plant right now. One of the systems triggering this response is something completely hidden inside your dog's skull that most owners have never even considered. We are getting there. Keep watching. Now, let's talk about the coat, because this is where a lot of people get surprised. If you own a husky, a golden retriever, a Bernese mountain dog, a German shepherd, or any other double-coated breed, you have probably been told that the double coat protects your dog from the elements. And in certain conditions, that is completely true. In dry cold, the double coat is one of the most effective natural insulation systems in the animal world. The dense, soft undercoat traps warm air close to the skin and keeps the cold out. But here is what nobody tells you about what happens when that coat gets saturated in heavy rain. The undercoat does not repel heavy moisture. It absorbs it. And once it starts absorbing it, the process accelerates fast. The dense fibers that are so good at trapping air become equally good at trapping water. The coat gets heavier, significantly heavier. A fully saturated double coat on a large breed dog can add several pounds of water weight, pressing down on the dog's body uniformly. At the same time, the water reaching the skin begins, dropping the skin's surface temperature rapidly. The same insulating system that was keeping your dog warm is now trapping cold water against their body and holding it there. So in the time it takes to walk from your front door to the end of the driveway in heavy rain, your double-coated dog is already experiencing significant physical discomfort, added weight, dropping skin temperature, a coat that is no longer doing its job and is actively making things worse. And their biology knows this instantly, because it was programmed to know it. Here is the historical piece that ties everything together. The breeds most likely to refuse a rainy walk are not random. They are overwhelmingly breeds developed in specific northern climates: Scandinavia, Siberia, the Scottish Highlands, the Swiss Alps, regions where weather conditions were extreme and where a working dog caught in a heavy downpour without shelter faced a genuine survival problem. In those environments, a dog that got thoroughly soaked in cold rain burned significantly more calories trying to maintain body temperature. A dog that lost coat integrity in a storm lost its primary protection against the cold that followed. A dog that ignored these signals and kept working through heavy rain was a dog that risked hypothermia, reduced performance, and long-term health consequences. So the dogs that survived were the ones that listened to their biology, the ones whose nervous systems correctly flagged heavy rain as a high priority signal to seek shelter. Those dogs lived. Those dogs bred. And generation after generation, that shelter-seeking response got coded deeper and deeper into the genetic blueprint of these breeds. Your husky refusing the rain is not being a drama queen. It is running the exact survival program that kept its ancestors alive in Siberian winters for thousands of years. The environment changed. The apartment happened, but the code did not update. And now we get to the hidden system inside the skull I mentioned earlier. Hold on, because this next section is the one that genuinely surprises people the most. We have talked about the coat and the ancestral memory, but there is something happening inside your dog's ears and head during a heavy rainstorm that most owners have absolutely no idea about. And once you hear this, you are going to understand rain refusal on a completely different level. Real quick, if this is already making you see your dog's rainy day behavior differently, hit the like button right now. It helps more owners find this before another frustrating rainy morning. Now back to what is happening inside that skull. Remember, we talked about how dogs hear frequencies up to 65,000 hertz, more than 3 times the human range. Now think about what heavy rain actually sounds like to a dog with that hearing system. To us, heavy rain is loud background noise. Uncomfortable maybe, but manageable. To a dog with a sensitive, high-range auditory system, heavy rain is something entirely different. Every individual drop hitting every individual surface pavement, leaves, car roofs, drain covers, produces sound across a wide frequency range. Layered together in heavy rainfall that becomes what researchers describe as a wall of white noise that saturates the dog's hearing completely. Imagine putting on headphones, playing static at high volume, and then being asked to navigate a normal walk. That is closer to what your dog is experiencing than the gentle patter you hear from inside the house. And then there is the barometric pressure drop. Before and during heavy rain, the atmospheric pressure drops measurably. Dogs feel this, not as an abstract weather observation, as a direct physical sensation in the inner ear. The sensitive structures inside a dog's ear canal are designed to detect subtle pressure changes, an evolutionary tool for reading environmental conditions. When barometric pressure drops sharply, those structures register it as a significant environmental shift. For breeds already genetically coded to treat heavy rain as a threat signal, this pressure change is often the first alarm that goes off. Before the rain even starts falling heavily, some dogs are already uncomfortable, already reluctant, already telling you something is coming that their biology does not want to walk into. Your dog standing at the door looking at the rain is not reading the weather report. It is feeling it, hearing it, processing it through a sensory system that was built for survival in conditions far more serious than a suburban sidewalk in a drizzle. So here is what you can actually do about it. And I want to be clear about something before we start. The goal here is not to override your dog's biology. It is to work with it. Because fighting thousands of years of genetic coding with a leash pull and a frustrated voice is a battle you are never going to win. First, gear that actually works with the coat, not against it. Standard dog raincoats often cover only part of the back and do nothing for the undercoat saturation problem. What actually works for double-coated breeds is moisture-wicking coverage that extends further down the body and protects the undercoat from initial saturation. Keeping the undercoat dry even partially means the coat keeps doing its job, which means the physical discomfort signal that triggers rain refusal is significantly reduced before it even starts. Second, reframe the walk before you leave the house. High-value engagement before the door opens changes the equation. If your dog's last experience before stepping into rain is something genuinely exciting, a favorite game, a high-reward training moment, real enthusiastic energy from you, the motivation to move forward is higher when the door opens. You are not tricking the dog. You are raising the reward threshold high enough that the biology has more reason to override the alarm than to comply with it. Third, shorten the ask and build the association slowly. Do not expect a full normal walk on a heavy rain day from a breed with strong rain avoidance genetics. Start with short, positive experiences in light rain. Reward heavily for any forward movement. Build a new association over time. Rain equals good things happen that runs alongside the ancestral alarm, rather than trying to silence it completely. And finally, on the days where the rain is genuinely heavy and the pressure has dropped significantly, Give your dog an indoor alternative that meets their mental and physical needs. Scent work inside the house. Training sessions, puzzle feeders. These are not giving up. These are reading your dog's biology correctly and responding with intelligence instead of frustration. The owners who understand why their dog refuses the rain stop fighting it. And the moment they stop fighting it, the relationship gets better. Immediately, here's what I want you to take away from today. Your dog standing at that door looking at the rain is not defying you. It is not testing you. It is running a program written by thousands of years of survival in environments that were genuinely unforgiving. Every instinct in its body that kept its ancestors alive is firing in that moment. The fact that you now understand that changes everything about how you respond to it. Not with frustration, with knowledge, with gear that helps. With patience that comes from understanding rather than from just gritting your teeth. Understanding your dog's genetic reality does not just make rainy days easier. It makes you a better partner to the animal that trusts you completely, even when you are the one holding the leash pointing toward the rain. Does your dog refuse rainy walks? Tell me the breed in the comments right now. I want to see which breeds are showing up the most in this community. And if today's video finally explains something you have been wondering about for years, type "finally" in the comments. Let's see how many of us needed this one. Hit like if this changed how you are going to handle the next rainy morning. Subscribe because next video we are covering 7 things your dog does before a storm that are actually biological warning signals most owners completely misread. I will see you there.